Hi, I'm Denise Gagne, and I'm here to do an overview of Lesson 34 for Pre-K to Grade 6. I'm on the Musicplay Online website, and the online learning modules are here. And to go to Pre-K, you'll do this. But I'm going to take you to the new site. This will become Musicplay Online as of July 1st this year. And the learning modules are here. And then you filter by grade level or now by topic. I'm going to show you bucket drum because this is beautiful. We now have bucket drum lessons 1 to 8 all in one place. These can be used probably from grade 2, 3 up to 6. But some of these, Dance Fun is going to be too difficult for the young ones. But things like We Will Rock You are easy, and the first 4 lessons are quite doable for all grade levels. So here we now have bucket drum as an option. The folk to pop lessons. There's only 2, one on Oh Mary Don't You Weep, Bruce Springsteen, one on My Landlord, but there will be 6 more lessons going in here. In the general section, we have Beethoven Lives Upstairs, English and French, and some of our other general lessons. But I've taken many out of here and put them into their own categories because it was getting too full. Our grades are here. Kindergarten is here. Pre-K is here. Our jazz history lessons are all in here now. So they were introduced in January of 2021, but now you can do them any time of the year that you want, lessons 17 through 25. We've taken the holiday activities out of general. So we have some Halloween, some Christmas or December holidays, and then we have some Easter. So as we add holiday modules, they will come into this section. We're putting our Peter and the Wolf lessons in here. There's 4, and we may add Carnival of the Animals in as a separate category if I build it into actual lessons instead of in the listening section the way they are. So I'm going to start today's overview of Lesson 34 with Pre-K. These are in alphabetical order, so it's going to take a tiny bit of getting used to. So Pre-K lesson 34, this is for May week 3. And as always, it seems like there's a lot of activities in Pre-K, but because they're short, they go by very quickly. Our objectives are here. We have 2 printables. We have animal sound cards that are very cute. We start with the hello song and all the names. Starting next week, we're going to have the hello song without space for names. So just change it up a little bit. Warm up your voice with a slide whistle. I did that actually right here in this space, and that's fun. Animal rhythms is where you print out the animal cards, and I've made them black and white so your students can use this as a coloring page, and you say the rhythms as you go along. I have cow, duck. Is that a duck or is that a chicken? I have to look and see what I've got here. I've got cow, duck, chicken, cat. Cow, duck, chicken, cat. And the children will echo what I have done. We do a new poem. 5 little kitties all curled up tight. And honestly, I can't remember the rest of that. So let's watch it. 5 little kitties all curled up tight. Sleep very softly all through the night. Meow, 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 meow. Very simple little poem and an opportunity to talk about quiet and loud. My little ones really like petting those 5 little kitties. And there's a kid's demo. I have to say, these are my granddaughters. They love kitties, and they now have 2 Bengal kitties at their home, which they truly love. We review, oh, went the little green frog one day, because it's sung 3 times. Once at a medium dynamic level, then it's sung quietly, then it's sung loud. And that's the focus of this lesson, is to practice loud and quiet. So they do the movement And here is the interactive activity for loud and quiet. And this one, you can go as far as you wish. Pull this off the screen. If I launch full screen, I can see it much better. So I've got all these options. These are poems where I can decide which lines to play, lines to say, quiet or loud. But with PreK, I've typically done this, and I'll make a pattern with quiet and loud. And then we'll say it together. Ready, go. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Loud, loud, quiet, quiet, loud. And there's actually music that you can play along with that. If you're doing this particular interactive with older students, you have rhythms that they can read and decide which lines to read quietly, which lines to read loudly. So lots of good activities in this activity, in this interactive activity. And then we have the animal cards, and we give these to the students, especially in classes where you're not allowed to sing. Having some coloring pages is a really helpful thing. And these correspond with the song, when cats get up in the morning, they always say good day. When cats get up in the morning, they always say good day. And on the sheet, meow, meow, that is what they say. They say, meow, meow. That is what they say. This is an introduction to longer and shorter notes. I don't label them in PreK, but woof, 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 woof are 4 shorter notes. Meow, meow are 2 longer ones. The cow, moo, that's a really long one. So when I make these patterns with my kids, if they are ready, rather than using the word rhythms, I'll use the animal sounds and do that with them. And then Old Gray Cat, such a fun song for kids to do. With my PreKs, I just like them to act it out. And they act out all parts. They act out the sleeping cat. They act out the mice. And at the last verse of this one is, now everybody's jumping, jumping. So there's no racing around the room. They're just jumping in place. And then we review Smooth and Separated. We review the letter L for Leo the Lion. And we can do the Leo the Lion song. And then we review Trot Old Joe with our pretend stick horses or real ones, if you have stick horses. The kids love the real ones. But, my students don't even mind if they just get a pretend one. And then skin-a-ma-rinky-dinky-dink, skin-a-ma-rinky-doo to end. So that's PreK, lesson 34, May week 3. It's a fun lesson. My students have really enjoyed it. Next, we're going to look at the kindergarten lesson. Lesson 34, May week 3. And we've actually added in something here that's new and special. And here's our objectives. We've got lots of supporting resources. I've done aquarium with the fish plates. And so I've given in here the fish to put on the plates. Either the kids can color themselves, or the plates that I used, I printed that in color. Up to you how you choose to use it. We've got a reproducible book for Watch Our Garden Grow that may be more suitable for grade 1, grade 2 than kindergarten. But if you've got some kindergarten kids that are starting to read, or they just want a book to take home to their parents, they can illustrate the song. Listen to the Water. We've got the verse card. So lots of printables for kindergartens this week. Hello. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. Hello, 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 hello to you. Hello, Carter. Hello, Jane. Hello, Maya. Hello, Sasha. Hello, 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 hello to you. So it's got the names in for this week. Next week, we're going to have a video where you don't say hello to every student, but you sing the hellos in 3 languages. This is new. Keep the beat with body percussion. And it's fun to do. You can have your kids stand up because they're going to stomp. Clap, 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 clap. And now we stomp, 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 stomp. So I I really like these. They're bright, they're colorful, they're fun, they're age appropriate. There is a snap in this one. I can snap with one hand. I don't snap with the other. So if your students aren't snapping, tell them just to rub their fingers together. And one day a snap is going to come out, maybe only out of one hand. We've got a Bobo video for them to warm up with. And then we've got spring rhythms. And these are using the verses in Listen to the Water. So here's what the printable looks like. And again, this is another optional color, the printable. So we've got the birds, the ducks, the fish, and the flowers. I had to change it just a wee bit on the printable because I didn't have coloring graphics. But we've got bird, we've got ducks, we've got fish, we've got flowers. And the idea with this is you give this to the students before you teach the song. They color them. They practice printing those words. They can make their own rhythms with them. But when you listen to the song, then they've cut these out and they put them in order as they sing. And that helps them to develop sequencing. This is actually sequencing like that is a pre-reading activity. So, and this is a beautiful song. I really do love it. I'm going to escape full screen so you can see my movements. We start like this.
Listen to the water, listen to the water, rolling down the river. Listen to the water, listen to the water, rolling down the river. We saw some birds by the waterside. We saw some birds.
I think I did. No, I didn't do a demo for it. So you'll have to make up your own actions for it. I didn't put the demo in. Then because we've just talked about fish, we're going to talk about more fish and introduce them to Aquarium from Carnival of the Animals. This beautiful video is engaging just by itself. Everyone loves to watch fish in an aquarium. And then we're going to have them move with paper plates to Aquarium. And that's where the fish graphics would come in. Now both plates. So I've seen some photos and videos of classes that have made the paper plates like this with the tissue paper hanging down. You can just use your hands if that's most convenient for you and just move the hands in and out. Or if you have the time and you want to make the plates are lovely. And then we have Watch Our Garden Grow. And this song moves along at a pretty quick pace. And I would suggest slowing it down a little bit. Let's go to speed. Maybe not that slow. 3/4. We are going to plant a seed. But it goes through the whole process of what you do to start a garden. And here I am playing with this beautiful group of kindergarten children, performing it because the accompaniment track was a bit quick for them. But they're just a beautiful class that performed that. And then we do have the optional reproducible storybook. And I mean, even if the kids can't read this themselves, their parents could read it to them, and maybe the child could sing it to their parents. Certainly, if you're doing this with a grade 1 or a grade 2 class, that would be great. Review the Old MacDonald song, review the peanut butter, and I love this kids demo, so I put in the kids demo as opposed to the words. So that is the kindergarten lesson 34 for May week 3. Grade 1 lesson 34, May week 3, is mostly about Chicken Little. It's really fun. I've got the manipulatives. I've added to the manipulatives since I first built this lesson in 2020, the text of the story and the instruments suggested, so that if you want a copy, you can follow along with it. It is given right here, text plus instruments. I've given the illustrated version of the story. And you can, again, download this. You can project this. Then you can go at your own tempo, whatever tempo you wish to go. I don't think I print all those pages in color. We've got a hens and roosters worksheet. And if this was done earlier in the year, but if you haven't done the worksheet, this is another opportunity to add that in. And then we have manipulatives for Chicken Little. These, again, are to sequence the story. As they listen, they get these, they color them, they cut them out. If you want to just have them cut them out and then lay them down in order as they're listening to the story. So the first character is Chicken Little, and then he goes to see Henny Penny, and then it's Cocky Locky, Ducky Lucky, Turkey Lurkey, and Hooty Owl. So that's another manipulative that's a useful one. So we start the lesson with the hello, how are you? And then we do Go Bananas, which is a song from PreK, but it's a really fun movement song. And I've done it with all grades up to probably even up to 4th grade with this one. So color the characters in the Chicken Little story. And then I tell the story and I play instruments with it. Boys and girls, this is the getting off her nest. Watch out, warned Henny Penny. Why are you running, Chicken Little? Oh, Henny Penny, cried Chicken Little, the sky has fallen. How do you know the sky has fallen? Asked Henny Penny. I saw it with my own eyes. I heard it with my own ears. And a piece of it fell on my poor little head with a big plop. How awful. So both telling the story and playing the instruments was a little bit of a stretch, but a good stretch. And these are the instruments that I used in the story. If you have those instruments, use them. If not, substitute for whatever you have. If your kids are virtual, they can find things at home that will make some of those sounds. That's what the kids at home will use. And then here is the whole story given so you can project it. Now I can on this screen, just on my Mac screen, I can zoom in and I can make this nice and big. So even though these concept slides or these image slides don't go full screen, it's still really easy to make them much, much bigger and brighter. Once upon a time, there was a fluffy little chicken named Chicken Little, etc., etc. And that's basically the entire lesson. I think I might have some review at the end. Oh, yes, at the end, we have Carnival of the Animals. So it's Hens and Roosters from Carnival of the Animals. If you have not done this, it's a great, these intro videos with live animals are something that the kids are very engaged and they really like them. And if you have done it already, it's a great review. This is what Chicken Little looks like when she's actually in the farmyard. And then we have the optional worksheet. You may have done this already in the March lesson where it was presented, but if you haven't, the concepts are here. Is the music smooth or bumpy? Where is it smooth? Where is it bumpy? What instruments play? The piano, the violin, viola, and there's a bow, and the clarinet plays. And then we have the chickens. The hens are pecking the grain. The rooster's coming along trying to steal their grain. And they like to act it out as well. So that's grade 1, lesson 34 for May week 3. Grade 2, lesson 34, May week 3, has the song Bought Me a Cat. And we're still going a little bit of a journey around the world as well. So we're going to review the Hello song, Oh My Aunt Came Back, Oh My Aunt Came Back. And I've given the kids demo here because it's fun to watch the kids. And then we're going to France with Sur la Pont d'Avignon. And here's the translation. There are variants of this song and dance. It's very improvisatory, actually. And this link to a performance of it shows one way that the dance can be done. When I do this dance, I generally circle. Why isn't this playing for me? Where's my sound? I have no idea why I'm getting no sound from that. But I don't do the swing with my students. I just walk around in a circle with them, and then the boys come in, and then they step back, and the girls come in. But I don't have a kids demo myself of this particular song and dance. So maybe after our COVID restrictions end, we'll be able to get one. So in my dance, they skip around the circle. Les belles dames font comme ça. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at French. The girls step into the circle and they create a pose. Les beaux garçons. And the boys step forward and create a pose. And you saw some of the kids in the video doing that. Les poupées is the dolls. Les soldats is the soldiers. Les grenouilles, they pretend to be frogs. Les gorilles, they pretend to be gorillas. And here is the music for them. Let's see if this is playing. It is. I don't know why that other video didn't play. I'll have to check it after. That I will make a note of. We are going to do Bought Me a Cat. And Bought Me a Cat uses do, re, mi, and so. So we echo first the solfa patterns.
So, la, so, mi, re,
And you
do.
echo so, la, so, mi, re, do. And then again, you have the option to print some animal cards because Bought Me a Cat has umpteen verses. And we've got animal cards for each of the verses. And again, in a similar way to what we did with PreK, each of the animal makes its sounds, and we've notated the sounds here. Cat went fiddle-I-fee, tee-tee-ta-ta. Hen went chipsy-chopsy, or ta-ta-ta-ta. And this is grade 2. They should be able to read this now, not just hear it. So listen to the song, have the kids cut out these cards and sequence them as they listen to the song. And then you choose instruments to play with the animal sounds. If you're at school, you choose school instruments. If you're at home, you find something to play. And then you play the animal sounds with the video. So if I have my sticks, I'm going to do the cat.
Bought me a cat, the cat pleased me. Fed my cat under yonder tree. Cat went fiddle-I-fee, fiddle-I-fee.
Meow, meow.
Bought me a hen,
And I
hen pleased me.
could use different instruments for different animals or use the same instrument for all the animal. And if I have my cards in front of me, I'm actually reading tee-tee-ta-ta, tee-tee-ta-ta. We have a little book for kids to illustrate. I'm including these primarily for people that are in person that aren't allowed to sing, because this gives you something musical to do. They get to hear the song, and then you can give them a link to the URL, and then at home they can go back, redo the lesson, and they can sing at home. There's a solfa challenge for Bought Me a Cat. And remember, we had sung the solfa practice ahead of time. Do, do, mi, so, mi, re, do. Kids can do this. They can send you a screenshot and to show that they've completed it. And then we have the contra dance. And I've got paper plates there. But if you want to just do the movements with hands, it's beautiful. No matter whether you use plates or you substitute scarves or you just use hands. It's a lovely play along. Last week, we did the same piece as a play along. This week, we're doing it as a movement with the plates. And if you want to see the contra dance, then you go to the listening kits and you scroll down. I think it's number 29 or number 31. But you'll see it's the contra dance one. So that is our grade 2 lesson for May week 3. It's lesson 34. I'm going into grade 3, and the grade 3 lesson 34. I have a new song for you. And the new song is the Action Leader song. You choose 4 people to be leaders, and each of them creates a set of movements. And it's a very fun song. I'm not going to go.
Be an action leader, I'm sure that you can. Be an action leader, the best one in the land.
So whatever I do.
Lie, lie, la, la, lie, 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 lie.
Now it goes slower.
Be an action leader, I'm sure that you can. Be an action leader, the slowest in the land. Lie, 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 lie.
So that's leader 2.
Lie, 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 lie.
Now leader 3 goes.
Be an action
And
leader,
I'm
I'm
gonna
sure
kick.
that you can. Be an action leader, the fastest in the land. Lie, 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 lie.
And the last one gets
Be an action leader.
an extra stretch. You can not do actions on the verse part of it. Often I start the actions early so the kids get lots of moving to the beat practice. And then we have echo body percussion. And this is with me demoing the body percussion, kids answering. And then we're going to learn the song Chicken in the Barnyard. This little symbol here will take me to Chicken in the Barnyard in the song list if I want to see what other options are available for the song. But Chicken in the Barnyard, we can't catch him.
Chicken in the barnyard, we can't catch him. Chicken in the barnyard, we can't catch him. Chicken in the barnyard, we can't catch him. Chicken got away today.
That's one of our new recordings that we had done. We're intending to redo the recordings for everything in Musicplay to get that same beautiful sound. There's a kid's demo of Chicken on the Fence Post, how we played that game. It's a similar song, but Chicken on a Fence Post, there are some concerns with the history and origin of that song, so we've replaced it. And when we are able to get kids together in a non-COVID environment where we can touch and sing and play, we still can't in Alberta. We're still restricted. We can't sing, we can't touch. So you... when we're able to, we will redo that video. So I've got suggestions for in-person. If you space out far enough, you could play this game. Virtually, you could do a challenge, and the kids really enjoy the challenge game. So you play or sing the song, and then 2 kids face off and see who can touch their toes 25 times the quickest. Compose a rhythm. So I've got the composition tool here. And I would suggest that we use 16th notes. Encourage them not to use these. These are really grade 4 rhythms, but tell them they can use the top row because they know all those rhythms by this point in 3rd grade, or they should. So ta, ta, ticka, ticka, ta, ticka, ticka, ti, 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 ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, ticka, ticka, ti, ti, ta, shh. And then we play it. It's going to do the clapping sound. Or I can change it. Ticka-ticka-tee-tee-ta. So when I have one I like, I decide on my instrument, and then I can decide how to play it. I missed something. I put the worksheet in, but I didn't add the step. I want the kids to be able to write the rhythms for this. So this is a 1-beat rhythm worksheet. We have these kind of worksheets for every reading song on the whole Musicplay site. So there's 200 or 300 of these worksheets available. And they're nicely done, easy to photocopy and use with your students. So chicken in the would be ticka ticka, barnyard, tee-tee, or due days, or whatever rhythm syllables you use. We can't would be 2 sounds. Catch him, 2 sounds. So you use whatever syllables you like, but these worksheets are available to you. There's generally 8 or 9 worksheets in the set. You download them. You use whichever 1 or 2 you feel is appropriate. We also included in the printables, if your students don't have one-to-one devices, but you want to have them doing the 16-beat composition, there you go. There's a beautiful template. They do it first in the beat boxes, then they transfer it to the staff. When I've skipped this step, the kids have a much harder time doing staff notation. When I do this step, the kids are much more successful notating rhythms on a staff. And hopefully by grade 4 and 5, we don't have to do this step. We can just skip it altogether. And then we've got moving with ribbons and scarves. And this is a contra dance with some lovely dynamic contrasts. And then we have a beautiful play along with the same piece, and the dynamics are notated. 6, 6, 6. And the form is also shown. And the B section suggests a triangle. On the cover of these videos, it shows you what instruments to get ready. And if you want to substitute body percussion, absolutely substitute claps for the sticks, stomps for the triangle, pats for the drum, or whatever you choose. This the cover also shows you what rhythms will be used in here. And it shows you any other concepts that will be used. So really, really good material here. And then I've included a listening log on the contra dance. I want children to become perceptive listeners. We don't always want them having to do something to the music. We want them to be able to go to a concert, sit still and think, what is that music making me think of? What instruments are playing? And I want them to be perceptive and be able to hear what instrument families there are. Some instruments say here, what's the tempo? It's not slow. It's not very fast. It's somewhere in the middle. Is the music quiet or loud? Well, this was interesting because this started very quiet in places and got very loud. And what do we call that, boys and girls? We call that a crescendo. Was it smooth and flowing or separated and detached? Well, there was places where it was pretty smooth, but most of it, I think, was detached. And then describe the mood of the piece. I think it sounds like my mother wanting me to clean up my room. That's a good mood for it. So this is week 34, grade 3, May week 3. I'm going now to grade 4, lesson 34, May week 3. And we're going to do some work with 3/4 meter, and we're going to have a song that uses T-tick rhythm. So we're going to work on 2 different rhythms in this lesson. And the song, There's a Hole in My Bucket, it's a fun song. It's a silly song. I think your kids will quite like it. So the poison rhythm in 3/4. I've been asked if poison rhythm is on the new beta site, and absolutely it is. I will show you at the end of this video where to find it. But there's poison rhythm given to you right in the lesson. Here is a kid's demo of There's a Hole in My Bucket. I thought this was quite delightful. They're spaced apart, facing in the same direction so they can safely... And as old-fashioned as that is, that's how I've always done the song, with the boys singing Georgie's part and the girls singing Liza's part. And of course, you can always offer your kids the option. Do whatever part you want. And that's probably a less gender-biased way of doing the song. There's solfa notes here, and we have a singer that sings a line in solfa, and the kids can echo it. This uses lo so, lo la. So a good reading song for solfege if you're continuing that in grade 4. If you don't, just skip the activity. And then there's the whole song video. And there's an option to illustrate your favorite verse. But I don't think this this is an activity I would do if I couldn't sing and I could only listen to the song. Now we have the rhythm play along that uses the new rhythms that we're going to use in Built My Lady. So this is a great rhythm play along. We can use sticks and drums, or we can clap and pat. And I can go full screen with this. I like the music. Ta, ta, tee, ticka, ta, tee, 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 ticka, ticka, ta. I can desk drum. Tee, ticka, ta, tee, 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 ticka, ticka, ta. Oops, I just did something too bad that I didn't want to do. I hit the space bar and it. Oh dear. I hit the space bar instead of hitting the actual button. But I like the desk drumming actually for a lot of these. When I test the videos out that our team has made, I often will drum it on the desk. And then you don't have to hand anything out. It's not overly loud for the class next door. And what I do if I want a variety of sounds, for example, if I'm doing a bucket drumming activity with desk drumming, I would just use this for my top, for my rim, edge. For clicks, I clap. And if I have the sides of the bucket, I will just find a contrast sound. So you can do desk drumming anywhere, anytime. It's a really good way. Here's reading the rhythms. And this one has actually an extra little rhythm that the kids may not have seen before. T, T, S, T, 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 T. I call that rest because it's shorter than sh. So T, 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 T. It's worked for my students. I'm not sure that's actually official Kodai rhythm names, but it's what I've used successfully. Here's how the kids play Built My Lady. And the idea with this is the real estate agent is trying to sell the houses. So in every house, there's somebody looking at that house. And when she jumped out on the word out, the person in the middle jumps out of the house and tries to get to another house. There is a real estate agent off to the side that is trying to get into one of those houses and steal the listing. So the competition is between the ones in the middle and the real estate agent off to the side trying to get into the house. I think the video will show it better than I'm explaining it. If you can't have kids touching, use sticks to make the bridge. And then the kids will be further apart as well. Even better, I think, would be half a pool noodle. So cut your pool noodles up, maybe into 3-foot lengths or 2.5-foot lengths. And then the kids are going to be spaced apart. But I think there's ways to adapt this that you can do it in person. If you're on Zoom, I would suggest creating a desk drumming or body percussion routine to accompany the song instead of playing the game. And I've given a sample body percussion routine here. I'm going to stand up so you can see what I'm doing. So the first line, built my lady a fine brick house. I'm going to patch the rhythm. Built it in a garden. And I'm going to clap that. I'm leaving out the 8th note at the end. The roof fell in, but she jumped out. Roof, I figured, should be the highest level of body percussion, so I'm going to snap those. And then stop the beat rather than the words. Fare thee well, my darling. Built my lady a fine brick house. Built it in a garden. The roof fell in, but she jumped out. Fare thee well, my darling. And you can teach this step by step. You're going to know your kids better than I do. But eventually you want the whole song done in body percussion. And then you could substitute instruments for that. And I don't know if I've given instrument substitutions for it or not. For the pat, if you have drums, For the clap, you could use, let's see, what would I use for clap? I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of things right on my table. And for the snap, and for the stomp, maybe everybody could play. So body percussion and then instrument substitution is a great way, if you can't play the game, to have the kids repeat that song many times. Now, I've included a link to the Rhythm Interactives for Built My Lady. There are all these interactive activities available. The intent is not that you do all of them. The worksheet that follows aligns to activity 6 or 8. So I might just jump right to activity 8, where I drag to show the sounds. Built my lady a fine brick house. Down here, built it in a garden. This is where that new rhythm would go. And then I have included a worksheet where they get to fill in the rhythms. So this is a 1-beat rhythm worksheet. So if I close that out, there are, like I say, if I go to the menu, I've got 9 activities. Typically, I will do the rhythm sort or how many sounds with the students, let the song sit for a week, and then come back and do the rhythm erase. There's no title on here, so it's a mystery song. T, 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 T. And then I'll take 1 away, and they have to remember it. And then they would keep clapping. Then I'd take 2 away. Then I'd take 3 away. Then I'd take 4 away. And in the old days, when I did this on a whiteboard, I'd invite 4 children to come back up and see if they could draw the rhythms into those boxes. And of course, here I can do it digitally and just put them back. And then I go, what song is that? And if they can identify it as Built My Lady a Fine Brick House, I'm impressed. So here is the Write the Rhythms worksheet. And you could conceivably put this worksheet in the background of a Google slide and have the kids complete it in the Google slide and then send it back to you. It's whatever you choose to do with it. If you're in person, copy the worksheet, give it out to them, use it as an assessment. So that is the grade 4 lesson, lesson 34, May, week 3. The lesson 34 for grade 5 and middle school is the same. And this is a folk to pop lesson. It's folk to pop lesson 2. First thing we're going to do is learn the song My Landlord. I love this song. It's always been fun. I learned it in my Kodai levels.
My landlord rang the front door bell. I let it ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window, I peeked out the garden. I asked that man what was on his mind. He said, "Money, honey." Ooh.
So I learned that in my Kodai levels, and this is the clap pattern. Own, right, own, left, own, both, cross, pat. So it's not impossibly difficult, but it's tricky enough that you want to practice it ahead of time. Now, if you can't do that, you can, here's a video of the kids doing the pattern. You can desk drum it, and you would desk drum like this. Clap, right, clap, left, clap, both, cross, pat. My landlord rang the front doorbell. I let it ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window, I peeked through the blind. Oh, I'm doing it wrong myself. Clap, right, clap, left, clap, both, cross, pat. I went to the window, I peeked through the blind. I asked that man what was on his mind. He said, "Money, honey, ooh-wee." He said, "Money, honey, ooh-wee, if you wanna get along with me." if you want to get along with me. I don't think I did that right all the way. Apologies for that. In Heather Morris's book, From Folk to Pop, she's got some teaching ideas that are really, really good. What's a non-pitch sound? It's a sound like this that doesn't have a distinct pitch. Choose 3 non-pitch sounds. Instruments or found sounds compose a steady beat pattern to accompany the song. So I could do... That's actually 4-beat pattern. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. What can I do for 5, 6, 7, 8? 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 5, 6, 7, 8 on my computer. But you would practice it. And the idea that she has was to do it in groups with Zoom and with in-person instruction this year. In groups isn't going to work very well. So I would do it as a class. And then you divide the class into 2 groups. One sings, one plays the accompaniment, switch parts. What's a song about? My landlord. What's a landlord? What did the landlord do? He came to the house and he asked for his rent money. Who is asking for money? The landlord. How come? Because he has to pay the mortgage on that house. What does the person in the house do? He peeks through the window. He opens the blinds. And then we're going to listen and respond because Elvis sang this song and it was under the title Money Honey. So we go to a live performance of Elvis doing the song.
You know the landlord rang my front door bell. I let it ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window, I peeped through the blind, and asked him to tell me what was on his mind.
So who does not like Elvis? I really enjoy that. I've created a bucket drum piece to play along with Money Honey. Again, if you're going to desk drum with sticks, I would suggest getting some kind of a pad to put on the desk. It dampens the sound a little bit, makes it sound a lot better. This is a chunk of a yoga mat. Our Dollarama store in Canada sells yoga mats for $4. They were there last week when I checked for them. And I cut it up. I made 32 practice pads out of that. So those practice pads cost less than 15 cents each. That I don't mind paying for. So my landlord rang the front door bell. I'm going to do top, ring, ring, top, click, top, ring, ring, top, click, top, ring, ring, top, click. My landlord rang the front door bell. I let it ring for a long, long spell. I went to the window, I peeked out the blind. I asked that man what was on his mind. He said, now on the next part, Money Honey, we're going to do this pattern. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, click, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, click, 2, 3, 4. You have to swing the 8s. Money Honey, ooh-wee. He said, Money Honey, ooh-wee, if you want to get along with me, if you want to get along with me. So those are given there. I actually would like to get a video of the bucket drumming part done on buckets and add to this, but every week there's not time to do it. I've linked to a short bio about Elvis and previewed it. It's all good. 15 minutes. It's actually a really, really good video. It goes to Sun Studios, and it's about the early years of Elvis, how he got his start and how he changed music. And he did. He was absolutely a pioneer, a trailblazer that changed how popular music was played. So this is the lesson for grade 5. And for middle school. So you can use this with 5, 6, 7s, 8s. And I hope you enjoy this lesson. This is lesson 34 for May week 3 for grade 5 and middle school.